Well, hey, tuners, welcome back to another of our live broadcast cosplay creations. I am so excited because today I am joined by the fabulous Foxplay Cosplay, and I cannot wait because you were actually you joined me on our cosplayer episode of the Toon Ladies Talk Show, and now you're back. You're doing Proxy from Blood-Ink. So, how are you, Foxplay?
I'm doing great. I've had a lot of time to work on cosplays and really do a lot of makeup focused cosplays and characters, which is great. I don't get to experiment with that a lot. So it's been really awesome.
And I'm so excited. I've been watching your Instagram page. You've been doing some really cool things, which we're going to take a look at as we are working today. And if you guys are joining us live, jump into my chat box and let us know just how excited you are to see today's Foxy Proxy cosplay, which was a little bit of a tongue twister to say there. But I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be so much fun. If you guys aren't noticing where I've covered with my hands, this is what our proxy looks like. So over in Blood-Ink, we are in a dystopian world where assassinations have been made legal, and it focuses on Maya and Rama. Maya is our legal assassin. Rama is our illegal assassin, trying to take out the people who signed that legislation into effect, and they end up having to work together. And on Maya's team, we've got the fabulous Proxy, who is her hacker, which today we are cosplaying the Fox look because Proxy likes to cover faces with digital masks. So today we're going to be creating a makeup look for this. So tell me what we're going to be doing.
So typically with this type of character, a lot of people will make a mask or like a mascot head for it, but sometimes that can get a little difficult. With makeup, it's a lot easier. You have a lot more freedom to portray the character as you want. Typically, when I'm doing characters like this, I'll tend to put my own little style on it, make it look a little more realistic, a little more not cartoony. So it gives you a lot more freedom to have fun and play with it. So as you can see today, I did the wig up into little fox ears instead of actually having fox ears, which is great for new cosplayers if you just have a wig lying around and you don't have fox ears, or if you're unsure how to make animal ears. So this is a lot of basic stuff that, if you're first getting into cosplay or if you're a beginner, you'll be able to get it. And it's very easy, it's not difficult, and you can play around with it and practice with it, and you're not really wasting a lot of materials or anything expensive. So it's a great thing for beginners.
And I'm really excited because you've actually been at this for quite some time. So before we dive in, tell me a little bit about what you do, how long you've been doing this, and the fact that you're actually very, very professional about this.
So I actually, my family, my mom and my aunt started face painting like way back in the 80s and 90s. And it's been a family business ever since then. So when I, turned 12 years old, they were like, hey, do you want to learn how to face paint? And of course I was like, yeah, that seems great. Let's do it. So ever since then, I've done it off and on. About 2 years ago, I started taking it professionally. And doing, I started my own business. So I go to corporate events, birthday parties, all kinds of things. And I do face painting. I do body painting. I do maternity painting, special effects makeup. So I'm really passionate about it and I love it. And it's one of my favorite hobbies to do.
I'm so excited by this. I knew that you did it professionally, but I didn't know your whole history. So now I'm just like, well, tell me more. That's amazing. Okay. So we're going to dive in today. We are doing a fox look for you. So what's our very first step? What do we need to know?
Okay, so the first step, you want to make sure your face is washed. You always want to start with a clean base. Wash your face, put your moisturizers on, put your primers on, however you usually start your makeup routine. I use a variety of different materials and products. I'll mention some of the names because they are skin safe, hypoallergenic, non-toxic face paints specifically meant for face painting, and safety is always first. I always want to make sure, if I'm instructing people that they're using the correct type of paints to put on their face, and they're not going to break out. Like, I have eczema really bad, so I make sure to always use sensitive, skin safe products. And I can tell you, the brands that I like to use. If you like to know the websites that I get them from, where you can buy professional grade face paints and the applicators, I'm going to mention that. But first step is creating your base. Like I said, priming, washing. I went ahead, so I have relatively thick eyebrows, so the first thing I did, because it takes a minute to dry, is I glued my eyebrows down. So I just used a washable purple school glue stick. You can just take that. You take a little brush. Let's see, my little brush here. There it is, a little eyebrow spoolie. You brush them up, and then you put your glue on top of it. Then you can put a powder on top of that, and you kind of just keep layering. It takes a while to dry, as you're doing the layers. And then I'll put a concealer on top of it. I just use like a cheap little e.l.f. concealer. It's $6. It's very inexpensive, but you can use whatever concealer that you regularly use. You're just trying to hide your eyebrows, because as you can see, Proxy has the little fox eyebrows, and typically I'm going to draw them actually on my forehead. So I'm going to want to hide my natural ones. The next step we're going to get into is getting into our base colors. I always start, before I go in with the details or anything, I put down my base colors. So we have orange and white. A few of the brands of face paint that I use are Fab Face and Body Art Face Paint, Wolf FX, and Global Superstar. Like I said, if you'd like to have some of the names of the paints or the websites where I buy them, I can definitely provide that. They're all safe for you. Never put anything on your face that like acrylic paint. I've seen some people do that. Don't put acrylic on your face. It can make you break out. It can have a horrible reaction. You always want to make sure you're being safe. You can even go to some of your local stores and get some of this paint. Like Michael's has a brand called Snazzaroo. It's great for beginners. It's inexpensive. I believe Hobby Lobby might have it as well. But they have beginner face paints that are inexpensive that you can play with and experiment with. So to apply these, they're water-based. So basically they just come off with water. They're not anything crazy. I use a sponge. This is a specialty face painting sponge. Basically, you just wet the paint, which my paint's a little ran out right now. So I got to go around the sides because I've been cosplaying so much. And you just put it on the sponge, and you can dab it like right on your skin, and it comes right off like with water. So basically,
really? Okay.
Yeah, so they have a few different types of paints that you can use. So they have water-based, they have alcohol-based, they have grease paint. Typically, if I'm doing like an at-home makeup look, I will use water-based because, I just want to take my pictures and have it come right off.
That would be me. That's where I would go with that.
Yeah, I'm not about that leaving it on for a week life. But
yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, if any of y'all are familiar with My Hero Academia, I cosplayed Mina, and she's completely pink, and I painted my body completely pink. And I used an alcohol-based paint, and I was pink for a while. When I went back to work, it was very interesting, but I do recommend alcohol-based paints for conventions. Like if you're going to be walking around for 8 hours, they have alcohol-based paints that, they'll stay on and you won't sweat it off and you won't get it on the hotel furniture. So that's really great.
That is a smart point. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Homestuck was really, really big and huge, that a big issue was it was getting on all the furniture and the walls at the hotels, and it was like, oh no. But then people started using the alcohol base, and it was great. Like, it's perfect. You can also, with the alcohol based paints, you can use an airbrush or a regular sponge, which is great.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And airbrushes, you can get them on Amazon relatively cheap, like a makeup airbrush. They're really fun. Like, I always love saying to play with makeup, like, experiment what makes you, comfortable and what you enjoy, and see how you like it.
You were talking about that airbrush when we did the Toon Ladies talk show episode, and I just thought it was the most fascinating thing. I haven't played with one, but I really want to at some point.
They're really fun. They have foundation ones, even, like, where you can do your regular foundation for, your everyday makeup. And I think they're on Amazon. You can get them maybe like $30.
Oh, not bad.
It's very inexpensive. It's affordable. But you can just, what it is, it's like a little liquid you just put right in there, and you just spray it on your face. And it's such a time saver, like, if you're getting ready for conventions. I remember I was cosplaying Minth from Lore Olympus for Holiday Matsuri, and I was like, oh geez, I gotta wake up early tomorrow because it takes a little time.
Yes, I am working on pulling up your Minth pictures right now. Yes, I have it. I love it. I love your Lore Olympus cosplay, and we're definitely having you back to show off Lore Olympus for us, because so much fun.
I'm obsessed with Lore Olympus. Not even gonna lie, like, it is my favorite comic. I have been obsessively reading it. I don't know if everybody's like, no spoilers, of course, but like, if everybody read the last chapter they let out, then oh my god, I was like, fangirling. But I mean, I fangirl every episode, so.
That's so funny. Yeah, it is a fun read, and it's even more fun to cosplay that, because a lot goes into that, and there's a lot of really bright colors. So it's pretty interesting.
It is. I just cosplayed. I've just been like kind of rolling through the characters, I guess. I did Minth first, and then I did Persephone, and then I did Hera.
You did, which I didn't pull up her. I should, because she's dang good. Look at that, friends. Look at that.
And I'm doing the 6 cosplay challenge thing, where like people can suggest cosplays for you, and I have Eros lined up. So
do you?
I do. I'm just waiting on a wig for that one.
Nice. Now, where do you get your wigs? Like, do you have a specific place you source those from?
So there's 3 places I'll typically buy my wigs from. If I'm looking for something that's like a cheap, inexpensive wig, I will go straight to Amazon. Amazon has wigs for like $10 to $15. You can get, they're cheap, they look fine. If you're not like worried about it looking super crazy cool, then go to Amazon. It's great. I would say the next step up, if you're looking for like a middle of the road wig, is I use Epic Cosplay wigs. They're inexpensive and
I did that yesterday.
They're inexpensive. I would say about anywhere from like $20 to $50, depending on the wig you want. And then top of the line wigs, I would suggest Arta. Arta has very professional grade wigs. They're anywhere from like $30 to I think $70, maybe more, depending on the wig you want. But I see, a lot of people will go to, if they want to make wigs, they go to Arta, because Arta has all kinds of, like little extras and add-ons and like wefts and stuff. But yeah, like if you're just starting out, definitely try Amazon and, see which one you like best. That's something I always say with cosplay. Something I may really enjoy and like is not going to be for everybody, So I may really like my Amazon wigs, but you might not be a fan. So just, try everything out, experiment, have fun with it. Cosplay is limitless on what you can do.
And there's so many different options for everything too, including what we're working on today with Proxy. You could do a mask, or you could create a giant head to go on your face, or you could do it through makeup. There's so many different interpretations, which makes cosplay so much fun and really pretty interesting. So friends, if you're joining us right now, we are hanging out with Foxplay Cosplay, and she is creating a Foxy Proxy look for us from Blood-Ink by Lupicut. We've got our fabulous Proxy right here, which kind of blends in with my dress, so we put the hands up there. But if you're joining us live, we want to hear from you. Drop your questions, drop your comments into the chat box, and let us know what you are thinking as you're joining us today, because we love hanging out with you guys. We love getting your questions answered. And if you're on a replay, get into our comments. We're going to be watching them, because Foxplay is going to be coming back to do more makeup tutorials with us and more cosplay creations. And so we want to hear who you want to see next. Let us know. So talk to me. What are we doing now? I see that you've added more color to your face.
I turned on my light just a little bit because I want y'all to be able to really see the colors that I'm putting on. There we go. So basically I put my orange up top. I put my white at the bottom, kind of like his pattern. I got my little reference picture here, which have reference pictures nearby if you're doing a character. You can do your own interpretations, but having a reference really helps, and it helps with the creative process. So like I said, I have my orange, I have my white. These sponges are specifically made for face painting, and they are specifically made to blend colors. So if you can see, it's kind of a little bit difficult to see because it's bright, but I have right here where the orange starts fading into the white. So basically what I'm doing is I have my orange on one end, I have my white on the other. When I'm applying it, I'm lightly tapping it onto my face. So that's bringing the color on top, and it's layerable. So what I'm doing, these paints, like, okay, I'll do one layer, and then I'll go back in and put a second layer, and then I'll go and put a third layer, depending on how thick you want it. But you can layer and blend them. That's specifically what these paints are made for. They are perfect for any kind of, makeup look or cosplay that you want to do. And if you're, if you happen to use a brush with them, you can use brushes, you can use sponges. Brushes, if you're using that, what I suggest doing is I do a crisscross pattern. So if you're using a brush to apply paint, do it in like X's. So like go one way and then go back over it another. The tip is layering. That's how I get my smooth finish. I also will put like a light powder on. That helps a lot too. It just makes it look a little more cohesive. Like if you're doing your regular foundation, and when you put the translucent powder on after you've done your your foundation, your concealer, to try and get the whole look together, that's what we're doing. It's the same process, just a little bit different. So let's see. We're just going to go in a little bit more because I want my orange a little more vibrant. And I think I'm going to put like a little bit of yellow in towards the nose area. And that's what I love about these paints. Like the orange I'm using is called Fab, Face and Body Art paint. It is very, very pigmented. Like they are wonderful, and it's not going to stain your skin. I know that's a big concern with people. They get worried like, oh my God, like what if I'm orange for a week? The water-based ones, they come off with water, a baby wipe. It's not going to stain your skin.
That's really good to know, because I feel like I want to try some body paint stuff, and I'm terrified I'm going to be blue, green, orange, whatever for my other live streams. So the fact that it just kind of washes all the way off is really very, very comforting.
Absolutely. My main job during the week, my weekday 9 to 5, is at a professional establishment where I have a very strict dress code. And it's very, cut and dry. And I could just imagine if I showed up like green to work, like I might get some looks.
It could be a problem. Yeah, I see that. So we've got some people jumping in, asking questions. Mary Jane joined us and wants to know what you're going to be doing with your ears. So we kind of explained earlier that you're taking almost a stylized approach to this, and you've styled your wig up in those ears in a fun kind of interpretation to that. And yeah, jump in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna keep reading the comments, but go ahead and keep chatting.
So that's the wonderful thing, like, about makeup and cosplay. Like, you know, you have your own interpretations of it. You know, typically you could make fox ears. You could order some online. You know, I didn't really have the materials around to make fox ears properly for this cosplay, and shipping's been a little bit slower. So I was like, you know what, let's do a stylized version of it. And it's also, you know, if you're just starting out, an inexpensive way to experiment with it. So what we did is we just took a black wig and we styled it with hairspray. You can just, you know, point it up and to make the little ears. And also, since it's more of a cartoony looking character with, you know, the face mask, you know, we're going for a little bit of a more, like, I guess, realistic / Bishonen type look. But, you know, play around with it, see what you like and how you enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that we kind of get to mix things up and try things a little bit differently. And I love that Proxy has those dark ears, so it really works well with the wig.
I know. I was like, I wonder if I should use an orange wig and then, you know, maybe put, you know, a black, use black hair wefts I have around to make the little ears. But I was like, no, I think I'm gonna go with full black. Like, if you like see Fox Boys in other shows and stuff, you know, sometimes they'll have like their hair and like their little ears sticking out of it. That's kind of the look I was going for. You know, like I said, the Bishonen type feel. Because I mean, that's like my favorite.
Well, I love it though, because you get to add your own little personal flair to it, and you get to source what you like to create something brand new. TM Shark Nerd is with us, and she is jumping into our conversation about how those water-based paints just run right off of your skin when it comes into contact with your water or your runny nose.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, water-based paints they're great if you're doing something that's like a quick photo shoot or like a makeup tutorial or something that's you're not going to be sweating or runny nose or exposed to water, because they do come right off with any kind of moisture or water or wetness. But I mean, that's what makes it great for, you know, short periods of time. If you're looking for extended wear, definitely look at alcohol-based paints. They're wonderful, or they have grease paints. I don't particularly care for grease paints, but that's a personal opinion because they are kind of heavy. If you think of like old circus clowns, that's the kind of stuff that they wore. It's very thick. It's almost like a paste that you put on your face, and it kind of clogs your pores up a little bit. So that one's, you know, play around with that one, see if you like it. But those are the big three, you know, water-based, alcohol-based, and grease paints.
And TM Sharky Nerd is also in our comments wanting to know how you're making this so smooth, because it's so sensitive when you're working with these paints. So what's your secret?
I would say really it's all in the sponge. Like, I am such an advocate for these type of sponges. They have, I believe Michaels has them. I'm pretty positive that they do. Hobby Lobby, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them on the specialty face paints. I'm going to put it up close so you can kind of see. It's just like a little cutout. It's high density, so it's squishy. It retains moisture. Basically, you just dip it in the paint after, you know, spritz it with a little water. You dip it in the paint, and then you just pat it. And like I said, you can use the edges for one color. Sorry, it's like backwards, so I'm like trying to coordinate.
Yeah, I know. No, I feel you. I feel you.
You can use one end for one color and another end for another color, and then you can just blend them. Like, if you see right in this area where I have the white to the orange, I just have my white side on this side, my orange side on this side, and you can just blend it down. And it's all about pressure. The more pressure you put on it and the more paint you put on it, the more vibrant it's going to be, the thicker it's going to come out. The less pressure you put is how light it's going to come out. It takes a little practice, but I definitely recommend trying sponges. Brushes are wonderful too. They're just a little bit, I would say, more difficult to work with because they have those streaks. These are specifically meant for making sure you have a smooth base.
Which is so much fun, and I feel like I'm learning a lot today. I have not tried to do cosplay makeup yet, but I'm so inspired to just like try all the fun things. Yeah, okay, so Rika is here hanging out with us, and she says, I might have missed what kind of paints you were using, but what do you recommend? So can you shout those out for us again?
Yeah. For a quick session, something you want to come off easy, try water-based paints. If you're looking for something that is more extended wear, try alcohol-based paints. And if you're looking for a kind of weird middle ground, try out grease paints. They're just a little bit thick. Always make sure that your products are skin safe. They're hypoallergenic, non-toxic. You don't want to put anything on your skin that's going to hurt you. Never under any circumstances put acrylic paints on your skin or oil paints, nothing that is meant for, not skin use and that is meant for like professional fine arts. Don't put any of that on your skin. It's not meant for your skin. Also, that goes for glitter too. I just want to throw this out there while I'm doing a little safety PSA. I see a lot of cosplayers, they'll use glitter in their costumes and incorporate it in. Please, if you're using glitter, do not use craft glitter. They make specialty face and body art glitter that is, if it gets into your eyes, is the main problem. Craft glitter, if it happens to get into your eye, it can actually, I'm sorry, my dog's barking. Can you hear that?
You can, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.
We love puppies. It's all good.
If craft glitter gets into your eye, it can actually cut your eye and cause severe damage.
Yeah.
Cosmetic grade glitter, I'm sorry, let me tell them to be quiet.
That's totally fine, because I've got a PSA. So, friends, last week we were talking all about the mermaid life and mermaid cosplays. And within the mermaid community, you have to use very specific glitter because it can clog pool filters, it can cut your eye, it can do all sorts of things to damage things around you. So there is specific types of glitter you should and should not be using. You can use that biodegradable stuff, but there's specific cosplaying glitter, as Foxplay was telling us all about. So you want to make sure you're very careful with that glitter.
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, biodegradable glitter, that's my go-to. Like, I adore biodegradable glitter. Not only is it safe for you, if it gets into your eyes, it is not going to cut your eyes. It's safe for the environment. A lot of times glitter ends up in the ocean, which is not, awesome or, great. But the biodegradable stuff, it's a little more expensive, not too crazy. Maybe like $8-10 for a thing, but it lasts you a very long time. It's good for the environment. It's really safe for your skin because it's plant-based. You're not going to break out. You're not going to cut your eyes. It's wonderful. I definitely, recommend looking into different types of glitters, which, like I said, I can provide websites where I buy professional grade face paints and glitters. They have all the types of paints mentioned. And they, it's all safe. They sell high quality products at affordable prices too.
Which is fantastic. We always like affordable, especially if people are doing cosplays as much as you're doing them recently, because you are just going all out when it comes to your recent cosplays. So we've actually got a question in the comments, and I kind of want to work off of that. So I know you've been doing an awful lot of cosplays. We're going to chat about those and show them on screen in just a minute. But Mary Jane wants to know, are you working on any upcoming cosplays for Murmee?
What is Murmee? I'm sorry, I haven't heard
my
of it.
friend. So Murmee is a kind of a holiday all through May, and it focuses on mermaids. So we're talking mermaid art,
Mermaids?
mermaid cosplay. Oh yeah, we're talking all things mermaid books, mermaid cosplays, mermaid artwork, just all things mermaid. So are you potentially now thinking about doing some mermaidy things?
Oh my gosh, yes. I
Man,
love mermaids. Like, I am obsessed with the Little Mermaid. Ariel is my favorite. I love everything mermaid, and now that I know that is a thing, like, let's do it. Let's go for it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna figure something out.
I'm excited for this, and I feel like I want to actually get you over on my other platform to do something in my author life because I have my mermaid series. So maybe I'll have you come do some mermaid makeup for us. But
Ooh.
right, that'll be fun. So Mermaid is really a very, very fun experience, and I'm glad that you are jumping in on this one. It's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about this after we get off air. But you have been doing some other really cool. Oh gosh, we're getting all the fun comments coming in. You guys are so funny. If you want to join us for Mermaid, please let us know. We'll do all the fun Mermaid things over on my author platform to celebrate mermaids and Mermaid and tales and my series, because we can. It's going to be fun. But I do want to talk about some of your recent cosplays. Before we jump into that, tell me what you're working on right now because you've kind of changed your look of it.
So I went ahead and put in his eyebrows. He has little triangle eyebrows you typically see on, foxes and stuff. So I just went in with the white and a small brush, and I put the base down. So now I'm going in with a black. It's a very thin brush, and I'm just going to outline it. It's going to look a little funny at first, but then we're going to go in with shading. And really define everything. Like I said, we want to put all our bases down first, and then we're going to go in and fine tune everything. I was actually doing a makeup look last night, and at first I looked really, really funky and really funny. But when it gets to the end and you put on those finishing touches, it just starts coming together.
Is that your most recent picture on your Instagram? Have you put that one up that you did yesterday?
No, I was going to put it today, actually. I'll be posting.
I'm like, can I show it? No.
I haven't posted it yet. It's actually going to be a Has-Been Hotel cosplay. I don't know if anybody has watched that, but
I have not, but shout us out in the comments, friends. Let us know if you have seen this before and what you're hoping to see in cosplay later on today. And speaking of the really cool things that you have recently been doing within your cosplays, let's talk just a little bit about your scar look, because dang.
So that was one of the 6 cosplay challenges, and I've never done scar before. So I actually I did a lot of the opening premiere face paints for The Lion King when the live action came out. So I painted Simba a lot. I painted, giraffes, zebras, Pumbaa, Timon. Scar was not popular, but this is the first time I've ever done Scar's makeup. And it was really fun. And with the characters that are more like cartoony, I've been deciding to do the cartoon version of it and then go back in and do a glam version of it, because I am a sucker for glam makeup and I love glitter and I love, doing my own little thing and putting my twist on it. So I did a cartoony look, and I went ahead and did the I did the glam looks as well. And it was so fun. I really had a great time with it. I didn't think I would like doing Scar's makeup as much as I did, but it was awesome. Like, I gotta admit,
I loved it. I've been watching you over the last couple of days put them up, and I'm just like, it gets better and better.
That was really fun too, because I got to make a lot of TikToks.
Which I also saw.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna say. I just went ahead and did all the audio that I could find from The Lion King for Scar, and I was like, let's just do it.
Do it all. It's the way. TM Sharky Nerd is in our comments saying that you're going to do a super fun mermaid look. I'm excited for this.
So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think I should go with traditional Little Mermaid, or y'all think I should just make up a mermaid? You know, what are y'all's thoughts?
I think you have the ability to do both, and you should not limit yourself.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I should do both.
I'm such an enabler over here, but I definitely I want to see your traditional Little Mermaid, but then I want to see you go very, very much into glam mermaid territory and just like the scales and the whole look and like, I want you to make like fun ears. Like I just want to see the whole thing.
That is such a good idea. Let's do it. We're gonna, I don't know when, maybe this week. Why not? I'm off this weekend. I live near a beach, kinda ish. So, you know, why not? That sounds fun.
Oh, so fun. Now the real question is, do you have a tail?
No.
I have tails. I'm just saying.
You have mermaid tails?
Have you never seen my mermaid pictures?
I think I have, but like you own the tails?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to get a little fun over here in KM world. I wrote a mermaid series called the Siren War Saga, and I've written a Little Mermaid retelling called The Sinking. And when I put my books out, the professional mermaid community found me, and they just stalked me on Instagram, and they brought me into their world, and they had me come to a Renaissance fair where I met them with their big traveling mermaid tank. And then they got me into their mermaid conventions where I was their featured author. I've been a featured speaker teaching social media strategy to mermaids. So I'm very tight with the mermaid community. But aside from the professional mermaid community, I ended up working with some tail creators to do some promotional efforts. And I went to a party in New Jersey, of all places. It was like 3 hours from my house. And they had a pool party for just people who loved mermaids and tails, and you could go try out a tail. So my very first tail experience was at this party with Fin Fun mermaid tails, and I could not get enough of it. And so I came home that night and I'm like, I need to own me a tail. And so it was like within a week or so I had purchased my first tail, and now I own several tails, and I just take them with me, and you can swim in pools, and you can pose out on the beach with all the surfers looking at you. Interestingly, that was an experience. But you can do all sorts of fun things with mermaid tails, and there's fabric tails and silicone tails and accessories and mersonas and just all sorts of amazing things. So,
okay, so I'm gonna need the rundown on this because I want to be a mermaid. Oh my gosh, please. Like, I want to be a mermaid. I didn't know that was such a huge thing. Like, I've seen them at the aquarium before, but like,
oh no, there are so many mermaids. It's a huge thing. I mean, there's conventions all over the US. And so I'm connected to Mermagicon, which is now the biggest one on the East Coast. It's run by my friends, the Circus Siren Pod girls, two of the girls from the pod. And oh man, just every February, they've got a big convention in Washington, D.C., and hundreds of mermaids get together and they take classes. It's for professionals and enthusiasts and hobbyists, and people like go swimming in an Olympic-sized pool where the Olympians actually train. In tails, there's photo shoot opportunities. They can learn free diving. They can get certifications. There's kids Merlympics. It's just the most fun thing. And that's actually where I met Philo Barnhart, Disney animator who created The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all those fun, fabulous classics that we grew up with. And for those of you that did not catch our episode of the Toon Ladies Talk Show last week, we actually hung out with Philo Barnhart, and he answered all of our Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Secret of Nim, Black Cauldron, Star Trek-y questions. It was lots of fun.
So, funny thing about him, one time I had to have been I was very young. It was when I first started going to conventions. Years ago. I was at a convention and I had the Little Mermaid's dress on, the blue one, with the dark blue corset and the light blue bottom and the big bow where she's on the boat with Eric. And I went up to his table and I talked to him and I met him, and he was like, I'm the one who worked on that dress, right? And I was like, shook. And
right?
I bought some, prints from him, and those are my prized possession. Like, I still have all those Little Mermaid prints that are signed by him. That is my favorite thing that I own. Like,
so I'm about to make you very jealous. So last year when I met him for the first time at Mermagicon, I bought some prints. I bought a couple for me, and I bought one for my brand new newborn niece. And he signed it, "Welcome to our part of the world." It was adorable. And I went home. And then the next year, this last February, I went to Mermagicon and I was doing a live broadcast with him. And he drew Lumiere on air for my fans. And then he gave me the original copy. So I have his prints, but I have a Philo Barnhart original.
I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm very excited about that.
That is amazing. Like, that's incredible.
I know. So fun, right? So tell me what you're working on right now, because we're adding in some fun details.
So he's got the little lines on the side of his face. It's a very harsh line where the orange meets the white on his character design. Right where I blended the two colors, I just went ahead and mimicked the line. I'm just using a black face paint. You can even use eyeliner for this part, and I'm using a very thin brush to do this. One of the hardest things when you're learning how to do face painting is line work. So I always recommend, take your hand and just start practicing lines, see how the weight of your hand affects the thickness of the line, practice these kinds of things. Cause I know y'all are watching me do this and I'm just like, woo, woo, woo. Cause I sometimes I'll, just tend to go really fast without thinking. But just practice, and like I tend to like to make lines thicker just so they're a little more dramatic, because I like my characters to look pretty dramatic. But like if you can see how I went from thick right here to tapering to thin, just so it kind of fades out with the character, and then right here I have it going from thick to thinner as it gets towards my eye. So, details like that tend to it make it a little more interesting, and it gives it dimension and depth.
That makes a lot of sense. And so I see that you're going over to the other side of your face now. This is actually a question I wanted to ask. That when you're doing this, you're obviously right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed. I'm like, I think that's her right hand, but sometimes it reflects things differently. So I'm just gonna ask. So you're right-handed, and you use your right hand for both sides of this. Have you figured out any tricks to make it a little bit easier? Because I imagine reaching across your face and getting it to go the right way can be a little complicated.
So you ever see like that drawing where it's like you draw one eye and it looks perfect, and then you try and draw the matching eye, and then it's just kind of like it doesn't. That was me for the longest time. I have such a hard time making things match. Like, even like when I do my eyebrows, I'm like, they're sisters, not twins. The best advice that I can give when you're doing this, I do it one line at a time. So I went ahead and did this one. I was faster with this one. I just kind of went in a little bit, quicker with that. I knew what I was doing, felt confident. Now with this side, because I'm wanting to mimic it, I'm going to do it one line at a time. And while I'm doing it, I'm kind of checking like, okay, I have it about this length on this side, this length. Okay, now I feel a little bit confident, and I sometimes like I'll measure, like I'll use my paintbrush and be like, okay, this is about an inch. I have it about an inch from here, and just go ahead and make the line. Both sides aren't going to be perfect. Sometimes, that's a really hard thing to do. But, I mean, what person has perfectly, perfect right and left sides?
Not me.
Don't feel bad if, it's not coming out exact. Mirror image, it's going to look a little different, but that's okay. Just try your best.
And I definitely want to toss out here, if you are creating a look specifically for a photograph and you don't like one side, just tip your face for the photo. No one will know. I'm just saying.
Yes. Like, I am a fan of like, just like one-siding it, like find my best side. Or I guess you could do that thing where it's like you put your face like in that filter thing where it just like takes your face and mirrors it. Just take the good side and just do that.
That is true. You could do that. Hey, friends, if you are joining us live, we need you to do us a little favor. We've got a tradition here at Toon Ladies where we like you to take our photo and put us out on social media to let people know that we are here hanging out, and they should be hanging out with us as well. So get your phones up. Make sure you are grabbing a screen grab of us, or you are taking a picture of your computer and put it out there. Give us a tag because we would love to see that you are here hanging out with us. And if you've got questions, now is a great time to drop those into our chat box right there and let us know what you want to know before we are finishing up our look today. And of course, if you are in a mood to be helpful, leave us some comment love down below as well. And hit that like button. Let YouTube. Let YouTube know that we are doing something that you like, that they should be sharing with other people. And then share it on Facebook and Instagram and all the places I tried to say instead of YouTube. Always a helpful thing. That's okay. When I was talking, I almost said the name of one of my other shows. So I'm like on top of it today.
Oh my goodness. So now I'm just going in, just like if I was putting on eyeliner, I just took my black paint, which you can use black paint, eyeliner, whatever you prefer. And I just put it on top in a thin line. So he has a very interesting little eye design. So it's actually going to come down a little bit right here in the corner, and then it goes out into a big point at the top and then a little point at the bottom. So we're going to have some fun with this. So we're just going to go in right here. And y'all, if you're putting eyeliner on right here, just be careful, you know.
Don't poke your eye out.
Don't poke your eye out. The good thing about these paints is if you happen to get them in your eyes, you will be fine. There have been times I've gotten it in my eye before. It's going to be all right. I promise.
Water-based paints, your tears will help.
Yeah, so if you happen to like be using these kinds of paints and get it in your eye, it's going to be scary for a moment. Like I got white into my eye and my whole eye turned white, but you're fine. Like it washes right out. It's just really scary for a moment.
I feel like that's just a good life metaphor. Like it's going to be scary for a moment, but it's okay.
Right? Like it's all right. It's all right.
Mary Jane is in our comments saying we need to introduce you to more mermaid stuff. Mary Jane also happens to own her own mermaid tails. And Mary Jane, I don't know if you noticed, but I am repping for my Murmee today with my mermaid necklace that goes with one of my books. I'm just saying, I did that for you, boo-boo. DM Sharky Nerd is in the comments saying, yes, she is loving on our makeup look today. And friends, if you've got questions, if you've got comments, if you've got things you want to chat about, now is the time to get into our chat box. Ooh, this is looking fun.
So I actually have hooded eyes, so I have to do my eyeliner a little bit different because when I close and open my eyes, it's going to look vastly different. So it, like right here, you can see like my right here like droops. So I have to draw it on a little bit different. I find the best way, like when you're doing makeup, is to look straight on. And that's how, which I'm looking at a mirror. That's why I'm looking kind of like off to the side, but like look straight on and just go in there and make the lines, be bold with it, you know, like take charge, you know.
I feel like that's something that I need to hear when I'm doing my makeup, because I just like, I get nervous. I have exactly one makeup look and it never changes. And so when I watch you guys do these really cool things, I'm like, that's amazing, but I would never be able to do it. And I would be too scared to draw like bold lines because I would mess it up and not be able to fix it. So the fact that you actually need to be very intentional about this is important for me to hear. And I'm sure important for our viewers to hear as well.
You know, like sometimes when I'm doing makeup and I mess up, I'm like, oh my gosh, why? But, you know, don't be scared to mess up. You know, it's going to happen. It's just makeup. It comes right off. You can put it right on. You know, be fearless. Why not? You know? And like, see how like when I kind of raise my lid, it looks like a weird shape. But then when I like.
Oh, yeah, actually, wow.
It goes, yeah, see? I told you. Like.
Wow. That's really interesting, because I was watching you do it and I'm like, that's an interesting shape that she's doing there. But when you opened your eye up all the way, like, that really popped.
And I tend to, see, like, I always do it. It's kind of hard to see because there's the light's very bright. But, like, if I'm looking straight on, then it goes perfect. And when you're, taking pictures, it's going to look good. It looks a little funky if I'm doing this. I mean, it kind of looks cool, but, it's a weird shape, but like, depending on, if you have hooded eyes or not, is going to depend how you do your eyeliner. A thing that I also do is, I'll tend to, bring it out and make it pretty long. I am very fearless when it comes to, making a long eyeliner. We will go all the way to the hairline if we need to.
That's amazing. I love it. I just feel like I'm becoming more bold hanging out with you, because I am definitely quite timid with my makeup. So at some point I'm going to have to like draw that eyeliner out, see what I can do with it. It will not look that good.
Just play with it, have fun with it. That's what makeup's about. I used to be really awful at makeup, like really bad, like
me.
No, your makeup looks awesome. Like, we're talking like just a mass of blue. One eye. But the more you play with it, you're going to get better at it and have more fun with it and get to be creative. And it's just so soothing. Like, and we wear makeup for ourselves to make us feel confident and happy and fun and creative and express ourselves. Have fun with it, like, I'll go out sometimes. There's this thing with, typically in Japanese culture, you'll see a lot of foxes and they'll have like red around their eyes. So sometimes I'll take my brightest red and I'll just like put it around my eyes and like put really intense black eyeliner and just go with it. Why not?
I love that. Like, I hardcore love that. There will be a day when we just do like a Toon Ladies hangout. We get all our people together and we're just going to do really fun makeup, and we'll just let you instruct us and we'll go out and hang out.
Yes, count me in.
I'm excited.
I'll trade you. Like, you teach me about mermaid stuff and I'll teach you about makeup stuff.
I'm going to put you in a tail. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes, I would love to do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so like I said, I do face painting professionally and I have my own, party business. I could go to children's parties as a mermaid. That would be so adorable. I love kids. That would make them so happy.
You know
what? Gosh.
I think we need to talk afterwards, because I feel like, and Mary Jane, back me up here in my comments, but I feel like I would really like to get you into Mermagicon in their vendor hall and get you a table and just let you do makeup for these photo shoots with these mermaids and just like go all out with their looks.
Oh my gosh, yes. I have like so many different for mermaids. When little children ask me to paint them as a mermaid, I actually have like a whole set of different mermaid scales that I use. And I actually, what you do to apply them is, it's a plastic stencil. You hold it on the skin and you take one of these sponges in the colors you want to use, which there's these things called split cakes, and they are multiple colors. So I have rainbow ones. I have all these beautiful color sets, and they have metallic ones, and you just press it on and then you take it off and it's the mermaid scales and it's beautiful. Wow. It's like stunning.
Oh my gosh, we're totally going to make this happen, because I feel like that would be such a good fit for you to come to Mermagicon and do that. And I know all the girls are constantly looking for people to do their makeup for their photo shoots. And I can definitely get you in. We might need to make this happen.
Oh my gosh, yes. And we can do the waterproof. We can do the waterproof.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
They've got dry land and they've got the underwater photo shoots. So like, that would be amazing.
Oh my God, I'm excited. We're doing mermaid stuff.
We are. I was just talking to the girls today because they just jumped into planning their con for next year. So like, this is very good timing.
And where is it located again?
Washington, D.C.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. I want to go.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Like that's far away, but I'm gonna do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Come and hang out with me. I think they're gonna have me back to speak on their main stage this year for social media for mermaids. And they're actually doing that right inside of the vendor hall. So I can like hang out with you and then go teach. It'll be lots of fun.
That'd be awesome. Like I want to go. Like I want to be a mermaid with glitter and sparkles.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something. It's gonna drive Mary Jane wild. This past year, the girls surprised me with a table inside of their vendor hall for when I wasn't teaching. So I got to put out my books and like hang out and do consultations with people, and it was a lot of fun. And I was directly across from Philo Barnhart, Disney animator, and directly behind Mer Taylor, which is one of the biggest, most popular, most amazing tail creators in the industry. And so I was right behind this gorgeous white glittery, looked like bridal mermaid goodness right behind me, tail on the table. I got to like hang out with their scales. It was so much fun. She's in the comments. She's gonna be like, oh my goodness. But I'm totally making this happen because I feel like this is gonna be so much fun for us next year.
Okay, so let me ask, do you have to be a strong swimmer
to hang out at Mermagicon? No. Or to
like get in the water with the tails?
I mean, I would make sure that you know how to swim. I would not get in a tail if you can't swim. Because when you put your feet in a tail, what happens is they've got I don't have it here. It's in the other room. So they've got what they call a monofin. So it's like flippers that you put on your feet, but it's one solid piece. So you shove your feet down into it and they're strapped in together. Your ankles are together and you can't move. So as long as you can swim and like not drown, you'll be fine. Some people do get in tails and they panic a little bit. My sister had a very fun reaction to the time I put her in a tail, and she will never get in a tail again. And she's a very strong swimmer, but like that was not her thing. And then some people get in tails and they just go. The first time I got in a tail, it was the best thing ever, and I never looked back. It's weird swimming without a tail for me now. I would not put you in a tail if I was worried about your swimming abilities. I would probably, if you're not a strong swimmer, I would put you in a tail in the shallow end and be like right there to help you. But you should never go swimming in a tail or in general by yourself, just because that's not super safe. So safety does, of course, come first, but I would put you in a tail whether or not you are a super strong swimmer, as long as I was like right there to like put my hands under you and make sure you don't drown.
Definitely. Like I'm not an awful swimmer, like, but I get nervous in the water. I'm like, oh God.
So if you're a nervous swimmer, let's call it that. If you're a nervous swimmer, I would still be willing to put you in a tail, but I would be right there next to you. Like I would not back away from you kind of a thing until you felt a little more comfortable with it. And sometimes it takes a minute to get used to it because you are suddenly swimming with your feet together and you actually have to kick more with your knees than with your ankles, which is a little bit different than how we normally swim. But it makes you go faster. It makes you swim stronger, but you got to be very, very careful about that safety part of it.
Oh, definitely. So you go faster? Like really fast?
Yeah. Well, because it's a monofin. So with your legs and your feet, you have that length on you. When you have an extended length to that tail end of you, it's like a good foot of monofin. So that's going to propel you a lot faster and kick a lot more water to make you move faster and longer in a single kick. So you definitely have more speed when it comes to monofins and wearing mermaid tails.
That's so cool. I'm into it. Let's do it. Let's be a mermaid.
This is going to be exciting. I like this. And I'm loving the look. So tell me what you just did.
Okay, so I went ahead with my black paint and I drew in the mouth. So basically what I just did is I put it on my lip in the shape of his little mouth. And I went ahead and extended it so it's a little bit longer and kind of copied the shape towards the end. And then on my bottom lip, I just outlined it so you can, tell I still have lips. And then he has like a little tuft of hair, which I see at the top. So I kind of just drew the shape. Now this is where we're going to go in with all like our little detail work. So I just have, I'm using an eyeshadow palette. Oh, let me cover the mirror. If you can see the colors, they're very orangey, muted browns. Then I have some golds and some reds. This is where we're going to go in and like fine tune it. So what I like to do is I like to go in with like a shade that is, you know, darker than the paint I have on. So like right now I have this orange. I'm going in with kind of it's like a burnt sienna type color, and I'm just going to kind of contour. Like I want my nose to look, you know, pretty, you know, elongated like a fox's. So I'm just going to go in and kind of like lightly using just like a little this is a crease brush actually. So you can see I just kind of loaded it on there, and like you can already see like the difference on the side that has it versus the side that doesn't.
Yeah, for sure.
I just kind of contour and make, for this particular look, I'm making my nose look longer because he's a little fox. And then I just bring it up into the fake little eyebrow I made. So we're going to bring it up right there. And so you can already see how that side looks more dramatic.
Yeah, for sure.
Put it in there. And it just takes a little bit of blending, which eyeshadows, when you're using them in conjunction with face paint, they blend wonderfully. Like you can just put them right on top and they blend in there and it looks great. It's not going to like cake up on top and look gross. It works fine. And you can really use any eyeshadow that, you know, you like, that your favorite is. You know, play around with it, try different styles. In quarantine, I have bought like probably 30 new makeup palettes to play with. I'm not ashamed of it. I have a lot of makeup coming in the mail to play with.
You got to do something. We can't get out and have all our fun going shopping, so you got to do something to entertain yourself, right?
Yes, shopping is my therapy. So
okay, see, now we're doing the mermaid thing. We're gonna have a shopping trip together. It's gonna be a fun week for us.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, all right. So when this is all over, I'm gonna have to go up there to the mermaid convention, and you're gonna have to come down here to New Orleans.
Yeah,
to have fun down here too.
Let's make a whole week of it. You come up and meet me, and then we'll go down and we'll hang out with you. I'm so excited for this.
We have face painting conventions down here and makeup conventions. Y'all should, you know, come see that. And we have Mardi Gras, which is, you know.
Yes, of course.
You know.
If you're gonna go, you gotta go, right?
If you're gonna go, you gotta go. It's fun.
That's so fun. Oh, I love that I'm like making life plans at this point. I feel like I haven't been able to do anything in so long, and now all of a sudden it's like fun things are happening.
I know, right? Like, I've been like, okay, I'm gonna get to go to the beach sometime soon. Like, where's my beach?
I miss the beach. I was at the ocean right before all this happened. Thank goodness, because like I live in the only landlocked of the 13 original states. It's not even funny how far I am from the ocean. So I miss it right now, but I'm really glad I got to go right before all the lockdown stuff happened.
We have some beaches here where you can go swimming, but they're currently closed at the moment. You can go swimming there, unfortunately. But there's a lot of stuff to do. Like there's a lot of like open, you know, like hiking areas. There's forests and trails and stuff, and there's a lot of areas to like ride your bike. And I'm learning how to rollerblade right now, so there's a lot of areas to do that.
That's so fun. Okay, fun fact about me. When I was a little girl, we used to move everything out of the kitchen. I'm talking little girl. My sister and I would put our rollerblades on and skate around our kitchen. And that's what we did in the winter when you couldn't get outside to play.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I distinctly remember when I was like extremely young and had like a toddler bike, driving that around the kitchen too.
That is so cool. Like we went for my friend's birthday rollerblading a while back, and I had, you know, maybe done it once before, and we just started doing it. I was like, I need to learn how to do this. This is incredibly fun. I'm dedicated, so I bought a pair of skates, a very expensive pair of skates, because I was like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. And now I'm learning how, and I'm getting better at it. You know, it's not
so fun.
It's not awful.
When I was like probably 10 or 11-ish, we had a roller rink here. So you could go to like birthday parties and put on your skates, and like it was a big arena that you could skate around. They had disco balls and the lights and the music, and like it was the coolest thing, and it only lasted for a couple of years in my small little town, but so much fun.
That sounds awesome. Like we have one a city over that that's open during the year and stuff, and then we have a few ice skating rings, which is really cool. And then we have some, you know, places to play hockey and stuff. So we have that kind of stuff, but you know, it's not like super popular here.
Yeah.
Like more so like football is
Yeah.
sport of choice.
Same up here. It's just, I think that's just kind of a nationally thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, nothing wrong with football. I love football.
See, I'm not a sport girl. Like, if I'm not playing it, I'm not gonna sit there and watch it. So y'all have fun. That's where I'm at.
I have no clue what's going on with football. Like, I don't know any of like the rules or what's happening. But like, of course, I'm sure y'all all know of, like, you know, the New Orleans Saints. Like, we're all just so proud to be, you know, Saints Nation and who that's and stuff. So I was like, I need to make like a Sailor Moon uniform, but like make it Saints colors and go to the games. Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Oh, dang. Look at you. You're like, let's cosplay all the things.
Cosplay for football.
I feel like that could be a fun thing on Instagram, though. Like, I feel like that could take off. Get that one on TikTok, all I'm saying.
TikTok. So I just went in. As you can see, I put like the darker orange in certain areas. I went in with red because, you know, I just like the way red looks around the eyes. And I put that underneath. Now I'm going to go in with a very small brush. We're wrapping it up now. It's starting to come together. I'm going to take a little brown and just kind of, you know, just like make our natural like shadows in certain areas, like right around our eyebrows. We're going to put our little shadows.
Okay. This is just so interesting to me. Like, I don't understand contouring at all. I have never watched the videos on it. I probably should. I should learn how to do it. But I'm just like fascinated with the shading and with making everything pop and elongating your nose, and like all the stuff that you're doing is just really neat.
It's a learning curve. Like, I remember, you know, I really got better at makeup through face painting. I used to, you know, like I would do makeup and I would do like, you know, a very flat look, and it wouldn't be very, you know, interesting, or, you know, like I would just, you know, pop on one color of foundation and, you know, call it a day, and, you know, not, you know, put powder on or anything, just leave it like that. But through face painting, I actually learned so many like new techniques and, you know, shading and, you know, tricks on, you know, making your face look different. And I've really taken that and just applied it to, you know, my makeup routine and how I do that every day.
And I feel like that really does add a lot of depth to what you're doing in your everyday looks as well. So I really need to learn. Probably would be a wise choice on my part.
So let's see. We want to also contour our white parts and give that depth. So let's see what colors I have at my disposal. We're going to go in, you know what? I'm going to use this very light. We're going to gently put, I have a very light orange color that we're going to use, and we're going to kind of make it have like a fur effect almost.
Ooh, that's neat.
So we're going to take that light orange and just kind of drag it down into our white, just so it looks a little more cohesive, it blends, and it gives it like a little more fur. Like, you see how we have it
Okay.
showing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's where it's at.
Wow. And it really does make a difference too. Wow.
I'm glad this actually came out good because this is my first time. I didn't practice, so I'm glad it's looking okay. I hope the author is like proud.
It was really neat. Loopy lives on the other side of the world, so Loopy's 100% sleeping right now.
Oh.
Loopy was so excited that we were doing this. I messaged, and it was one of those like, surprise, we're actually doing this, and we like, got the very excited reactions over this.
I'm gonna have to take like my my Insta model pictures.
Yeah.
And, like, tag y'all in it so y'all can see, because like
Please.
my webcam camera only does it so much justice. Like
real photos are so much better, right?
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to like invest in a very nice professional grade webcam for
Yeah, to keep doing this. I just feel like when we get off air, we're going to talk about the conventions and like all the fun things we're doing, but also I'm going to talk you into doing like courses on this and make money off of all the
Oh my gosh.
Right.
And see, I put like a little, like, let's see if I can tilt down so you can like.
We see it.
Yeah. Like right there, just a little bit. So it's got that little, And
that really just pulls it together so nicely. Like the shading on the side and just the little bit there, that just like really makes all the difference.
Right here, right under the lip, you're going to want to put a little bit.
Okay.
And blend it. And then I always put a little bit by the corners of the mouth.
See, I would never think of this. I'm just over here like very basic, very, very basic. And you're like, let's shade it and let's give it definition and let's contour things. I'm just fascinated by this.
And then I just kind of like to contour my jaw, because my jaw is like not the most contoured. So I just kind of like to go in there and, give it a little more definition, and make it look a little bit pointier. Like I have a pretty, like my chin is, I feel like a little bit square. So I like to use makeup to make it look a completely different shape.
I like that you can change the entire shape of your face just with makeup. Like that's just so cool for me.
Isn't it? Like, it's like the neatest thing. It's so fun. Like you have so much freedom with it and like just having fun with it,
You can be anybody you want to be. That's what I do in Photoshop, friends. That's you've got the magic of makeup. I've got the magic of Photoshop.
Oh, I know how to Photoshop. Like sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's so true. I'm going to be real honest though, like because I do photography professionally, because I do a lot of retouching, and I do a lot of artwork with Photoshop, I sometimes go to do my makeup and I'm like, oh, let me just grab this Photoshop tool that doesn't exist in real life. Oh, wait, that doesn't work.
I'm the same way. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I need my Photoshop. Like, please.
Can we just fix those dark circles under the eyes? Let me grab my clone tool. Oh, nope, not a thing.
All right, we're on the last few little parts, and I'm just going to go in with a few little finishing touches, which y'all will be able to see a lot of the little details more. Like I said, when I take a picture using a better camera, you'll be able to see, how I went in certain areas that you can't see in this particular camera. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a color that is lighter than what I have on. So I have orange right here. So I'm going to go with a gold color. Typically, I'll just take my finger, rub it in, and you can see, you see I have the gold on there?
Can. Yep.
So I'll just kind of like highlight.
Okay. Huh.
And it just...
so interesting.
And when you take pictures, it's going to pop so much and look so stunning and beautiful. And this is actually, it's a metallic gold. So like I put it on my cheekbones. I put it like right up in this little area so that when I take a picture, you know, you look stunning and glowing, and it's, you know, really highlighted all the places that, you know, you want to like pop. You know, just put it there, like right here on top of the lip so that the lip really goes up. I typically will put it towards, you know, the brow area. I'm going to put a little bit of highlight on this little fur tuft we have at the top. And let's put some just right here, just a little bit right there. And then I think I'm going to go in and I'm going to just use like a very big brush, like a puffy one. And I'm going to get a little bit, just a little bit of red eyeshadow on there. Just a little bit. Let me get that. And I'm just going to kind of just tap it gently, just like a little blush. Just like a little blush.
Okay.
Just a little, like just in circles on there. And then we're going to go in with a bigger brush and just kind of tap it out so that it blends more.
Mary Jane's in our comments saying her favorite Photoshop tool is Liquify.
Oh, I use everything in Photoshop. I got to sometimes. And then I just finish off the look with some, I have some setting spray. I just spray it up in the air and put my face into it, because if you spray it directly on your face, it can make the paints run.
Yeah.
Look a little bit, you know, iffy. And if, you know, this, if you want to, you can use like mascara, depending on the kind of look you're going for. I don't think I'm going to use mascara for this particular look. I like it how it looks now, but
I do too.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
That's fantastic. I'm just like, pose for all the that looks really neat. And the fact that you like completely changed the shape of your eye there, that's really cool.
I know, right? Like my eyes are like fully open, but they look like almost half lidded, like I'm just kind of like casually, you know, smirking.
Yeah, no, it really does. I need you to teach me how to do that. That's amazing. Okay, so you're coming to Mermagicon and you're going to do my makeup every single day because I need that.
Yeah, you got it. Like waterproof makeup, glitter, whatever you want. Mermaid scales, I got you covered.
I love it. I love it. All right. So before we wrap up today, I want to recap. So just kind of breeze through everything you did to create this look today. Start with the hair and then jump into the makeup.
So just for a brief summary, I used just a black wig I had. I styled it into little ears for, you know, the character, and put that on. My first step was I followed my regular makeup routine of priming, you know, washing my face, putting on moisturizer, priming. Then I glued down my eyebrows using just a regular, you know, non-toxic glue stick. I used a loose translucent powder to put on top after I glued down the brows. And then I went in with base colors. I used orange Fab brand paint, and then I used white Wolf FX paint, using a face painting high density sponge to gently tap it on and blend the colors together. After that, I went in with my black paint, which you can use black paint or eyeliner to do the detail work, like the nose, the eyes, all these little details. After that, I did shading using eyeshadow. You can use any eyeshadow you want, as long as, you know, they're the skin safe, you know, the colors you're looking for. I used colors that are a little bit darker than the base colors I laid down to do some shadowing, like here by the hair. I made my nose look elongated like a fox. I put some right here by the brows. I did some detail work around this little fur piece, right here on your cupid's bow, right here under the lip, just to give it a little more depth, right around these areas where the little edge of his mouth goes. And just, for my own flair, because I like, customizing characters, I put a little bit of red under the eyes just because that's how I like to do it. And then I put a setting spray on top.
Which is amazing. And it just sounds so professional when you say it like that. Like I saw the whole process, but just like, that was so dang good. I absolutely love this look. You are going to be doing some photos for this later. So if you guys who are watching want more details, we will put that up on your Instagram page later. And I will probably ask if I can have one or two of those to toss on our website so I can link it in the comments down below later on. So if you're watching our replay, check down in the comments. I'm putting links so you can see the full look. And then we need to hear from you guys. What cosplay do you want to see next from Foxplay? She's going to be back doing some Lore Olympus in the not too distant future. And obviously we're working on some cool mermaid things. So let us know what else you would like to see in terms of these fabulous makeup tutorials. And let us know that you're absolutely loving this Proxy look today. So friend, before we sign off, where can everybody find you on social media?
I am on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, even Pinterest, as Foxplay Cosplay. Mainly I use Instagram, and that's Foxplay_cosplay. That's where I post most frequently. After that would be Facebook and then TikTok. Because, you got to have a TikTok.
You do. These days, you absolutely do.
Right. I'm always open to questions. If you have any product questions, if you would like to know where to buy things, I will totally send you websites, tell you products that I've experimented with, pros and cons. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm always willing to help a friend.
Fantastic. And I could not be more grateful that you came to hang out with us today. It's been so much fun chatting, and I can't wait to chat off air as well. I can't wait to see these pictures. So thank you so much for joining us today. Guys, make sure you are checking her out over on social media and sending all the love and sending all the requests for future Toon Ladies episodes. I'm just saying. And make sure you're also checking out Blood-Ink by Lupicut, where Proxy, our leading character, is from today. It's a great read. It's dystopian, and it takes place in the future where assassinations have been made legal, and our legal and illegal assassin end up working against each other and then end up working together. And our Foxy Proxy is our hacker who is kind of in control of everything. So it's lots and lots of fun. I hope you guys will go check that out over on WEBTOON right now to support Lupicut as well. And leave us all the love on social media. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Make sure you stay tuned and hit that subscribe and notification bell, because tomorrow on Toon Ladies, we are going to be hanging out with Miranda Munt of Muted. And then we've got some really cool people lined up in our future talk show episodes as well. It's going to be so fun, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Until next time, I hope you all have a fantastic day and stay inspired. Bye, friends.
Bye.